Welcome back to NYC School Secrets. I'm Alina Adams, author of Getting into NYC Kindergarten and Getting into NYC High School, available on Amazon and barnesandnoble.com. We hope everyone had a restful Thanksgiving because this is it, crunch time for NYC School Admissions 2017. Most private schools want your applications in by either the end of this month or the middle of December, though the process is ongoing. They're still scheduling parent interviews and child visits into the new year. And don't underestimate this fact. You are a huge piece of the admissions puzzle. Private schools aren't merely looking to admit kids, they're looking to admit families. As my husband, the teacher, says, remember, they're not rejecting your child, they're rejecting you. For inside tips on how to ace a private school parent interview, go to www.nycschoolsecrets.com, click on the podcast link, and listen to episodes number 25 and number 11. And make sure you sign up for our mailing list. Meanwhile, on the public school front, both high school and middle school applications are due into your guidance counselor on this Thursday, December 1st. Need help ranking your choices? I'll be doing a special, last-minute, Getting into NYC High School Facebook Live event tonight, Monday, November 28th. It's at 6 p.m. on the Bright Kids Inc. Facebook page. I'll be explaining how to maximize your chances of getting into your first choice school and how to make sure you avoid being placed in a school you didn't even list. So tune in tonight at 6 p.m. on the Bright Kids Facebook page. And just as middle and high school apps are closing, Kindergarten Connect is scheduled to open this Wednesday, November 30th. For a detailed explanation of what schools Kindergarten Connect can and what it can't be used for, listen to last year's podcast episode number 3. It used to be that public kindergarten applications were opened in January. In 2015, the mayor moved the application period to December, claiming it would make life easier for parents. How exactly he made it easier for parents to tour prospective schools when they were all closed for half the admission cycle due to winter break, he declined to explain. What that means is, if you want to visit a school, you'd better hurry. They're set to be closed from December 24th through January 2nd, and your Kindergarten Connect apps are due January 13th, 2017. Kindergarten admissions is particularly stressful this year for parents on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. That's because last week, the neighborhood's most popular and highest performing elementary schools were rezoned, meaning many fewer children now live in their respective catchment areas. Parents previously zoned for PS 199, PS 87, PS 452, and PS 9 are freaking out, as are parents from adjacent schools, and I don't blame them one bit. The Department of Education did everything at the last minute, completely ignoring the wishes of most parents and not leaving people much time to explore their options. So many of you have come to me for help that I'm holding an emergency workshop. Help, my school's been rezoned. What are my options? On Tuesday, December 6th at 6:30 p.m. at Basis Manhattan. More information and registration at www.nycschoolsecrets.com under workshops open to the public. Don't panic. You do have options, and we'll talk through all of them next week. I hope to see you there. Oh, and remember the diversity plan that was announced with such fanfare last year for District 1? That's the Lower East Side, including the East Village and Chinatown. They were supposed to be implementing controlled choice, which meant schools would set aside a certain percentage of their seats for lower income applicants. Except guess what? The entire project is now on hold because a simulation determined it wouldn't make much of a difference due to pre-K and sibling priority. They'll try again for 2018. But there is a bright side to the rezoning. Well, there are some good news and bad news anyway. The good news is that the Upper West Side is getting more gifted and talented seats. Parents know how difficult they are to score since many more kids qualify than there are available spots for them. PS 191, which is moving to a new building on West End Avenue, will also be adding a district G&T program. But now the bad news, it won't be starting in kindergarten. It will be starting in 3rd grade. And they won't be using scores from the test younger kids take to qualify for G&T. Instead, they'll be looking at grades and teacher recommendations. Oh, and you can't apply for it directly. This is one of those don't call us, we'll call you deals. If your District 3 child qualifies via this not at all transparent metric, the DOE will send you a letter at the end of the school year. We're committed to providing all families with high-quality elementary school options, and the third grade Gifted and Talented program at PS 91 will provide a great choice for families in the district, offering students accelerated, rigorous, and specialized instruction, said a DOE spokesperson. Which is super interesting considering that district G&Ts are very pointedly not accelerated. Those are the citywide programs. District G&Ts are enriched. Maybe the spokeswoman doesn't know that? She should listen to episode number 4 of this podcast. I break it down for her and for you. The whole reason for the Upper West Side rezoning was to make the local elementary schools more diverse. If you would like to be a part of that conversation, there is an event this Wednesday, November 3rd at the new school, How to Make Our Schools More Integrated. You might as well chime in before the department makes all their decisions without you. It's free to attend, but you'll need to RSVP at insideschools.org. So, as I said before, parents are freaking out, not just about the rezoning, but about the fact that last year, 30% of kids who qualified for a G&T spot didn't get one. That's up from the previous year when it was only 20%. Who knows what it'll be this year, especially as parents who in the past might have been perfectly happy with their local school go the G&T route due to rezoning. Plus, private school admissions is more competitive than ever for the same reasons. But we've got another silver lining here. New private schools are popping up all over the city. There's the New York International School. We talked with their director of admissions in episode number 16. There's the Ideal School. We spoke with them in episode number 9. The Weatherby Pembridge School, a British tradition that's instructed royalty, is set to open its doors in 2017 on the Upper East Side. Then there are the opposite of tradition and history, the Alt School and the Portfolio School, which both promise cutting-edge data and technology-based instruction to get your children ready for 21st century employment. But NYC parents are tough customers. They need to be convinced why they should take a chance on a brand new school when there are so many established, prestigious institutions to choose from. When we come back, we'll speak with Jessie Rizzo, head of the brand new Basis Independent Manhattan. Can she convince you? Find out after the break.
Bright Kids is a full-service tutoring and publications company specializing in test preparation and subject tutoring. Knowledgeable account managers guide families from start to finish, ensuring maximum success for students. Trial sessions are now available for only $40. Visit the Bright Kids website at www.bright-kids.com to find out more.
We're back, and we're talking with Jessie Rizzo, Harvard grad, native New Yorker, and head of Basis Independent Manhattan, a new K-8 now taking applications in all grades for September of 2017. In addition to being a new school, Basis tuition is also substantially less than all the schools we mentioned earlier. How do they make it work, and could it be the perfect fit for your child? Listen in.
Though the Basis schools are highly ranked internationally and nationally, you've only been in Brooklyn for a few years and you are brand new to Manhattan. What will Basis Manhattan offer that's different from other Upper West Side private schools and private schools across the city in general?
Well, I think for one, we really have to think about our curriculum and how that really differentiates us and makes us stand out above the rest. We have an accelerated international curriculum where students are required to take engineering and Mandarin starting as early as kindergarten all the way up to 4th grade.
Oh, wow.
And by 6th grade, our students take chemistry, physics, and biology 3 times a week. So we have high international standards where students are required to really meet and exceed an accelerated curriculum.
So would you call yourself a math and science school based on what you just said?
You know, I don't want to really define us in terms of these educational sort of terms where we're the STEM school or we're the liberal arts school or the traditional school, or we're not a college prep school. Mm-hmm. I think when we really think about Basis independent schools, we are schools that are trying to prepare students to be participants in the 21st century world of commerce and innovation. So I really don't want to sort of fit us into certain sort of educational terms. We have a very strong liberal arts program. We also have a very strong STEM program. So it's a really well-rounded, holistic program that students can really sort of dive into a math science if they're the math science kid, but we also expect them to graduate with, music and drama and visual arts and foreign languages by the time they leave us.
It's interesting that you said you're not a college prep school. I mean, what does that mean? To most parents, they think, well, what does that mean? They're not a college prep school. I want a college prep school. So what would you say you are then?
When I think about Basis Independent Schools, I really think about us having sort of this hands-on, participatory type learning style where students are agents of change. And yes, of course, the goal is to get into a great college. But when we think about our curriculum, when we think about what we're doing day to day inside the classroom, teachers go in every day knowing that we want to create students that are going to become global citizens, that are going to make a change in this world, that are going to come out as strong critical thinkers, problem solvers, innovators, with the ultimate goal, of course, to go to college, but that is not sort of our sole goal.
And of course, the Basis Manhattan will only be at this point a kindergarten through 8th grade school, correct?
Exactly, yes, with the idea that our 8th graders will automatically matriculate to the Basis Independent Brooklyn campus.
So the Brooklyn campus, goes up to 12th grade?
That's correct. Right now it's a pre-K through 10. Next year it'll be pre-K through 11, and eventually it'll be a pre-K through 12.
Now, what do you say to parents who wonder why they should take a chance on a brand new school with no track record?
I'm glad you asked. In terms of being a brand new school, yes. Are we the new kids on the block? Yes. We're not new to this. We are going to be now one of 27 schools across the country and across the globe. So Basis started in '98 as a mom and pop charter school, had such successful results that it's only grown and expanded. So we've opened schools in San Antonio and Silicon Valley, McLean, Fremont, and now in Brooklyn, and now we're in Manhattan. So we've done this many times, and we're only able to continue to do this because of our results and how we're doing. So yes, we are new in that we are the new kids on the block, and we're popping up on 99th and Columbus Ave. However, we're part of a sister network. We're part of something much larger than just the Upper West Side.
You mentioned your results. Could you tell us a little bit about the results that your other schools have gotten?
Sure. So we have, our schools have been internationally and nationally ranked. Our students participate in something called the ISA, the International Student Assessment, and that is for students in grades 3, 4, and 5. And our students in Basis Independent Brooklyn took that test for the first time last year when it was only in its second year of operation. And what's interesting about this test is that over 80,000 kids around the world participate, over 70 countries. And there's really no way to prepare for this assessment. You show up with a number 2 pencil, and it really assesses your application, right? Can you take what you're learning and apply this? So it's a test on creative thinking. It's a test to see, can you take what you've learned and put it on paper? And what we did was we had outstanding results. We outperformed all 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders that took this test. In fact, if Basis were its own nation, it'd be number 1 in the world.
Wow, that is pretty impressive. Now, let me change tacks a little bit. Let me ask you this. The majority of New York City private school tuition runs north of $40,000. Basis Manhattan, however, will only be $29,500. How are you able to make that work, and does that mean students will get less than what they might get at another private school?
No, I wouldn't say they're getting less than what they're getting in a private school. We are significantly priced lower than other private schools on the Upper West Side. But we do that intentionally. We want to make it more accessible to a greater number of families. We offer really robust extracurricular activities everywhere from capoeira to fencing to coding to football to volleyball after school, as well as a really great curriculum throughout the day. So, when we think about what other Upper West Side schools are getting for their price point, what we have is it's an a la carte menu. You get what you're paying for. If you want busing, it's extra. If you don't want it, you don't pay for it. If you want to opt into the lunch program, you can opt in and pay for it. If you don't, you can pack your school lunch every day. If you don't want to do the capoeira after school, then you don't do the capoeira after school because maybe you have soccer, at Chelsea Pier. So, there's no hidden fees and no surprises. You're getting what you're getting.
Now, will there be any financial aid on top of that, or is that just a flat fee for everyone?
Well, that's part of why we do it, too. We do not offer financial aid, but we have a very reasonable price point.
Now, since you're starting as a K-8, are you taking applications for all grades?
We are taking applications for K-8. So if anyone is interested in high school, I would recommend applying to Basis Independent Brooklyn.
But if someone, say, is not applying at the kindergarten level, if someone wants to apply from 1st through 8th grade, is there a different application process than it would be for kindergarten? Is there testing that you do? Do you want to see grades? Are there interviews? What's your process?
So the process is the same for all in K through 8. The difference for K and 1 is rather than an assessment, a reading, writing, and math assessment, students in grades kindergarten and first grade, they come in for a play date. And it's really so we can see how, we're observing how they behave and work with other students. So they'll come in for a family meeting. Parents will apply online, come in for a family meeting. Kinder and first grade will have a play date. And then grades 2 and above will take a written assessment. And again, that's reading, writing, and math. And the assessment it's not an ERB, it's an in-house created basis assessment so we can see where they fall within our curriculum.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you're looking for?
Sure. So in terms of what we're looking for at Basis Independent Manhattan, what we're looking for are, one, families who are excited about being part of something from the start and from the beginning. This is a journey. This is really going to be a commitment. We know most families, and especially in New York, have to start this process over again once middle school comes around because it's a K to 5 school. They have to find a new place for 6, 7, and 8. We want you to start up with us and be with us until the end. So we're looking for families who are mission aligned, who understand who we are, what we offer, and are committed to starting this. With students, very similar, right? We want students who are motivated, ready to learn, thirsty for knowledge. And because we are sort of this starting up school, again, it's really embracing this notion of flying the plane as you build it, right? We're going to be creating a culture together. So families who are eager about being part of that, and kids who are just as equally about being part of that as well.
Now, how can parents learn more about Basis Manhattan?
We have several upcoming info sessions that they can attend. We have an info session on December 1st, and those are at 6:30. And our info sessions really take a deep dive into the curriculum and give a well-rounded sort of experience about what it's like to be a Basis family member, what it's like to be a Basis student. And you hear from teachers, you hear from students, and you hear from current parents. We also do tours at the Brooklyn campus on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the morning. That's really great to sort of see the curriculum in action, to feel it, and start to envision, can I see my child sitting in this seat? So that's a really great opportunity. And we also have a lot more upcoming events, so I encourage families to really look at our website. You can visit the Basis Independent website. That's www.manhattan.basisindependent.com.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for joining us this week to tell us all about Basis Manhattan. Good luck to you.
Interested in learning more about Basis? It's where I'll be holding my December 6th workshop. Help, my school's been rezoned. What are my options? RSVP at www.nycschoolsecrets.com under workshops open to the public. I'm Alina Adams, author of Getting into NYC Kindergarten and Getting into NYC High School. You only have a few more days to get all your ducks in a row for NYC school admissions. Make them count. And make sure you subscribe to my mailing list so you don't miss any breaking school news for 2017 and beyond. We'll talk more next week.